My beloved child, you finally did it. The moment I rope into your destiny before time began has arrived. The heavens have been waiting for this hour, and all of creation leans in as you step into the place I have prepared for you. I speak these words to you not from afar, but from within the nearness of my love. You have reached a turning point that could not have been rushed, and it could not have been delayed, for this moment was born of your endurance, your tears, and your faith that refused to die. You finally did it, my child. You held on. You believed. You stayed when it would have been easier to run, and now the heavens are responding. This is not an accident. This is not coincidence. I have guided every step that led you here. There were days when you thought you were walking in circles, but every path was leading you toward this sacred meeting point between what was promised and what is now unfolding. You thought the waiting was silence, but it was me arranging everything behind the scenes. You thought the quiet was emptiness, but it was me preparing the way, clearing obstacles you never saw, and setting the stage for what is beginning now. You finally arrived at the moment your spirit hath been longing for, the moment when your faith has collided with fulfillment. My child, heaven has taken notice of you. The very angels who have walked beside you are rejoicing now, for they have watched your struggle and they know how much it cost you to stay faithful. They have seen the nights you cried and whispered my name through trembling lips. They have seen how many times you stood alone when others walked away. You did not see the invisible hands that lifted you when your strength was gone, but they were there, sent by me to keep you from falling. Every breath of endurance was sacred to me, and I have recorded every moment of your perseverance in the book of remembrance that stands before my throne. This is why I say again, you finally did it. You chose faith over fear, hope over despair, love over bitterness, and in the choice, you opened a door that has been waiting for you since before the foundation of the world. Listen to me now, for what I am about to tell you is holy. This moment is not ordinary. You are standing in a space that heaven designed. The air around you is shifting because the unseen realm has moved in response to your obedience. You have triggered movement in the heavens with your surrender. There are doors opening that you never saw before, paths appearing where there once was none, and opportunities rising that will carry my fingerprint. The things that were withheld are now being released. The dreams that lay dormant are awakening. The prayers that felt unanswered are unfolding into reality, not because you earned it by effort, but because you remained faithful in the unseen. You have no idea how much this moment means to me. I have watched the long journey that brought you here, the detours, the heartbreaks, the false starts, the prayers whispered in the dark. I saw every time you questioned whether I was listening, every time you wondered if you had misunderstood my promises, every time you were tempted to give up. Yet you stayed. You clung to a word you could not see, to a promise that seemed too far away. And now, beloved, the waiting has fulfilled its purpose. What you see unfolding is not random blessing, it is divine timing. Take a breath and feel the stillness around you, for heaven itself is quiet in reverence of what I am releasing. The angels stand ready to move on my command, carrying answers that have been sealed until this appointed time. This is why I urge you, listen carefully. Do not rush through what I am saying. Every word carries life, every sentence is a seed, every truth is a key. You are stepping into the fulfillment of promises that seemed impossible. You are walking into answers that I wrote before you ever asked the question. This is the hour when unseen chains fall, when old burdens lift, when the atmosphere around you begins to change. You finally did it, my child. You chose to trust me even when the evidence of my hand was hidden. You believed even when your heart was weary. You refused to let the darkness silence your faith, and now the light is breaking through. Heaven celebrates not only the outcome, but the courage that brought you here. You have been refined by fire and strengthened by storms, and I say to you now, the season of endurance has produced the fruit of destiny. The ground that once felt barren will now bear abundance. The doors that once stayed shut will open easily, because I am the one opening them. Do you feel the shift within you? That is the sound of heaven aligning with your life. That stirring in your spirit is not imagination. It is my spirit awakening what has been asleep. The whisper you sense within is my voice saying, it's time. Time for new beginnings. Time for answered prayers. Time for restoration. Time for you to walk in the fullness of what I spoke over your life. Everything that once stood in your way is bowing to the authority of my word, because I have declared that this moment belongs to you. Say, I surrender my heart to you, Lord, if He's your everything. Beloved, do not doubt it. The enemy will try to tell you that nothing has changed, but he lies because he fears what I am doing in you. He has fought you so hard because he knew this day would come. He tried to weary you before you arrived here, but his attempts have failed. His weapons did not prosper. His words did not destroy you. His opposition only strengthened you. You are still standing because my hand has kept you. You are still believing because my spirit sustained you. You finally crossed the line that the enemy said you would never reach, and now heaven has responded. Listen closely again, my child. This moment was not earned by perfection, but by faith. It was not achieved by strength, but by surrender. All I needed was your yes, and you gave it, again and again, even when you did not understand. Each time you said, I will trust you anyway, heaven moved a little closer. Each time you chose kindness over bitterness, the gates of blessing opened wider. Each time you forgave when it hurt, you planted seeds that are now ready to bloom. I have watched and waited for this day when faith and promise would meet, and now that they have, nothing can stop what I have ordained. So I speak it clearly to you now. You finally did it. You stepped into destiny. You have crossed from waiting into walking, from hoping into possessing. Heaven has taken notice, and the gates are swinging open before you. The very doors you could not find are revealing themselves, and behind them are treasures I prepared long ago. Walk forward with peace and not fear. Walk with gratitude, not pride. Walk knowing that I am with you in every step. This is your sacred moment, written in my book long before you drew your first breath. Nothing about it is accidental. Nothing about it is random. You are standing in the center of my will, and heaven is rejoicing. You finally did it, my child, and now I will do what I promised. Breathe it in. Receive it. This is the beginning of what I have been waiting to show you all along. My precious child, let me speak now of your journey, for I have walked every step beside you even when you thought you were alone. I have seen every hidden place of your heart, every moment that no one else noticed, every tear that slipped down your face in the quiet hours of the night. Nothing about your story is invisible to me. You have lived through storms that others never saw. You have fought battles that no one else could understand, and you have carried weights that seemed too heavy for one soul to bear. Yet you did not collapse under them. You kept walking. You kept breathing. You kept reaching for me, even when you could barely lift your head. I saw it all, my child, and heaven recorded every act of faith you made in secret. There were nights when the silence around you was so thick that you could hear your own heartbeat echoing against your sorrow. You whispered prayers into the darkness, not knowing if anyone was listening, and still you spoke my name. You thought those prayers vanished into the air, but I caught every word before it faded. I stored them like precious jewels because they were born of pure faith, faith that believed without seeing, faith that hoped against despair. Those prayers are alive. They have never died. They stand before me still, and they are now beginning to bear fruit. I remember the moments when disappointment pressed so close that you could not see beyond it. The plans that fell apart, the doors that closed, the people who turned away. Each loss carved deep lines into your spirit, but even then, I was holding you. I never let the pain destroy you. I allowed it only to shape you, to draw out of you strength and compassion that could not have grown in ease. Every broken place in your life became a doorway for my healing presence to enter. Each scar became a place where my glory would one day shine. You have walked through valleys of loneliness that no one else could enter. People who promised to stay drifted away. Friendships faded, relationships broke, and you learned the language of solitude. But I was there in that silence, nearer than your own breath. When you cried into your pillow, I was beside you. When your hands trembled from the weight of trying to hold everything together, mine were wrapped around yours. You thought you were holding on to me, but all that time, I was holding you. There were mornings when you woke and wondered if you could face another day. The world felt heavy, your body felt weak, and your heart whispered, I can't do this anymore. But you rose anyway. You chose to keep moving, to keep hoping, to keep believing that somehow, some way I would make a way. Those small acts of courage moved heaven. Each time you took another step in faith, light broke through the shadows. You did not know it, but the very act of rising was worship, and it reached my throne like incense. We're here to remind you of God's love and fill your heart with peace and happiness. If our work uplifts you, please consider supporting us through Super Thanks. Your generosity is a blessing. I saw the seasons of scarcity when you lacked what you needed, when bills piled high and answers seemed few. You wondered if I had forgotten to provide, but I never forgot. Behind the scenes, I was aligning provision, stirring hearts, shifting circumstances. You could not see it, but every moment of your waiting was drawing resources toward you. I was teaching you that you are sustained not by the world's economy, but by my hand. I was showing you that when you have nothing else, you still have me, and that is enough. I know the pain that others caused you, the words that wounded, the betrayals that broke trust, the promises that were never kept. I saw how you smiled to hide the ache, how you forgave but still felt the sting. I was there in the middle of every heartbreak, gathering the pieces of your shattered spirit and holding them close until you were ready to be whole again. You thought you were abandoned in those moments, but I was closer than ever. Every betrayal became an opportunity for me to prove my faithfulness. Every rejection became a reminder that my love is the only acceptance that will never fail you. And I have seen the battles inside your mind, the doubts that shout louder than truth, the fears that steal your sleep, the memories that try to haunt you. You have fought wars within yourself that no one else could see, and yet you kept standing. You clung to hope when everything around you said there was none. You whispered my promises to yourself when it felt foolish to believe. You endured, my child. You endured when it would have been easier to surrender to despair. You endured when others expected you to fall. That perseverance did not go unnoticed. Every time you resisted the darkness, the heavens took note. Every time you chose love over bitterness, angels rejoiced. Every time you forgave instead of retaliating, the kingdom advanced through your obedience. Do you remember the moments when the weight of waiting felt unbearable? When you asked again and again, "When, Lord? When will it change? When will the promise come?" You thought I was silent, but I was speaking through the waiting. The delay was not denial, it was design. I was preparing you for what you now stand ready to receive. The waiting shaped your character. It deepened your roots. I did not withhold because I was cruel. I withheld because I was kind, because I knew the blessing would destroy you if it arrived before you were ready. The time that seemed wasted has actually been sacred preparation. Every hardship you endured became a seed that heaven planted. Every tear watered the ground of your future. Every time you forgave, you cleared the soil for growth. Every time you trusted me in pain, you built foundations strong enough to carry the weight of what is coming. You could not see the fruit then, but it has been growing quietly beneath the surface. Now, as heaven opens, those seeds are breaking through the soil. You will see the harvest of what your endurance produced. Nothing was wasted, my beloved. Not a single moment. The nights of loneliness taught you to hear my whisper. The years of struggle taught you to rely on my strength. The seasons of loss taught you that I alone am your constant. You have become a living testimony of grace. The very trials that threatened to destroy you have become the instruments of your transformation. You may still see scars, but I see strength. You may still feel weary, but I see wisdom. You may still carry memories of pain, but I see the beauty that came from ashes. Heaven has recorded it all. Every step, every sigh, every act of faith. The angels who stood watch over you carried those memories before my throne as songs of victory. They speak of your perseverance, your loyalty, your love that did not fade even when you were hurting. You are not forgotten, and you never were. Your story hath been written in eternal ink. Your name is known in heaven, not because of fame, but because of faith. So now, my child, I want you to see your journey through my eyes. Look back, not with regret, but with gratitude. See how far you have come, not by your strength, but by mine. See the times you thought you were failing, but in truth, you were learning to fly. See the moments you thought were endings that were actually beginnings in disguise. You have walked through shadows, but the light was always ahead of you, drawing you onward. This journey has not been easy, but it has been holy. It has stripped away what could not stay and refined what was meant to last. It has drawn you closer to my heart. It has made you more like me. Every valley you crossed has become a testimony that will one day comfort others. Every storm you survived has made you a shelter for those still caught in the rain. Nothing about your pain is wasted. It will become purpose. I tell you now, heaven itself celebrates your perseverance. The witnesses who have gone before you see your endurance and rejoice. You have run hard. You have fallen and risen again, and you have arrived at the place I destined for you. You finally did it, and now I can pour out what I have been holding for this very moment. Rest in this truth. Your journey has been seen, your faith has been recorded, and your endurance has touched eternity. Every lonely night, every silent tear, every whispered prayer, they are written in my heart forever. I have not missed a single detail. You are known completely, loved endlessly, and the story I am writing through your life will echo far beyond your days on this earth. So breathe, my beloved. You have not walked in vain. The road behind you has prepared the road before you. And now, as you stand on the edge of a new beginning, know that I have seen it all, and I am proud of you. Heaven bears witness to your perseverance, and now the reward of faithfulness is drawing near. My beloved child, listen closely, for the air around you has changed. Something has shifted in the unseen realm. Heaven has opened, and what was once held back is now being released. You may not see it yet with your natural eyes, but your spirit can already feel it. The stillness you sense is not emptiness, it is the pause before a divine unveiling. The ground beneath you is holy because I am moving in ways you have never experienced before. Every obstacle that once stood immovable is trembling, every door that was sealed is unlocking, and every chain that clung to your progress is beginning to break. You have stepped into a moment that was written long before you took your first breath, and all of heaven is aligning to fulfill what I promised. The shift did not happen suddenly, though it appears that way. It began in the secret places, where your faith grew quietly through pain, where your prayers rose like smoke though you could not see their destination. Each prayer was a sound that reached the courts of heaven, and now those sounds have formed a song that cannot be ignored. The heavens are responding to that song. Angels who once stood still, waiting my command, are now moving. You cannot see their wings, but you can feel the stirring around you. They are aligning circumstances, carrying instructions, preparing hearts, and making a way where there seemed to be none. They go before you to open what has been shut, to soften what has been hard, and to bring order where there has been confusion. What you thought was silence was preparation. What felt like delay was synchronization. I have been arranging people, opportunities, and moments like pieces on a divine chessboard. Now the pieces are in place and I am saying, move. My hand is turning what once resisted you into what now propels you forward. You will notice how easily things begin to unfold. Doors that you once knocked on in vain will swing open. The conversations you have been waiting for will suddenly come. The resources you lacked will begin to appear without struggle. The paths you thought were lost will re-emerge beneath your feet, glowing with the light of my direction. Nothing about this is coincidence. It is the divine shift I promised long ago, and it has now begun. Comment this word is exactly for me if your spirit felt his call. My child, do not underestimate the magnitude of what is happening. Heaven's calendar has reached your appointed time. I have issued a decree in the courts of heaven, and all creation must now respond. The season that once seemed dry is now fertile. The clouds that once withheld rain are heavy with blessing. The winds that once opposed you are shifting direction to carry you forward. What resisted you in the past cannot resist you now, because I have spoken. I am the Lord who commands the times and seasons, and when I say it is time, everything must align. Even the things that were meant for your harm are now being woven into your good. The shift you feel is not only around you, it is within you. I am awakening parts of your spirit that were dormant. I am stirring up gifts that you thought were lost. You will begin to sense a new boldness, a deeper peace, a stronger faith. What once intimidated you will now bow to the authority I have placed in you. You will speak, and things will move. You will pray, and mountains will tremble. You will declare my word, and atmospheres will change. For I have not only opened doors for you, I have opened a flow of power through you. You will carry my presence into places that have not known me, and the light within you will break chains of darkness. There is divine activity surrounding you even now. Angels of breakthrough have been released. They are working to bring completion to promises that have lingered. Some are touching hearts, bringing reconciliation where division once lived. Others are stirring opportunities that have been sleeping. Still others are standing guard around you, ensuring that what I have given you will not be stolen. Do not fear the resistance that rises one last time. It is the final trembling of what is losing its hold. The enemy can sense that his grip has weakened, and he thrashes in desperation, but he cannot stop what I have begun. My word is stronger, my promise is sure, and my authority is final. I want you to recognize the signs of this shift. You will notice divine alignments taking place. People you have not heard from in years will suddenly reach out, carrying pieces of your next chapter. New relationships will form that feel instantly ordained. Paths will cross that seem too perfect to be chance. These are my alignments, my divine appointments, each one placed carefully in your path to lead you where I need you to be. Pay attention, for I am speaking through these connections. I am guiding you with precision, and nothing will be wasted. You will also notice peace settling over areas that once caused anxiety. Where there was confusion, you will find clarity. Where there was fear, you will find confidence. Where there was uncertainty, you will find purpose. This is evidence that the heavens have moved. The warfare that once surrounded you is lifting because the battle has been won. You may still hear echoes of the old struggle, but they are fading. The power behind them is gone. The shift is complete, and victory now stands in its place. My beloved, I want you to understand that when heaven opens, it does not open halfway. When I move completely. When I declare something finished, it is finished. The shift is not temporary, it is permanent. The atmosphere of your life is being redefined. The cycles that once kept repeating are ending. The patterns of disappointment that haunted you are breaking. You will not go backward. You will not return to what once held you. I have broken the chains of delay and frustration. You are moving forward into a new dimension of purpose. Do not be afraid of the unfamiliar. I know this new season feels strange, as though the ground beneath you has changed texture. It has. The soil of your life has been enriched by every tear, every prayer, every trial. Now it will bear fruit quickly. You will step into opportunities that once seemed out of reach. You will see doors open in places you did not even know existed. Some of these doors will lead you into arenas you never imagined entering, but I have already gone before you. I will equip you for what is ahead. What you lack, I will supply. What you do not know, I will teach. Where you feel small, my strength will make you great. Let your heart rest in this truth. The time of striving has ended. You will not have to force what is meant to be. What once required you to push will now flow naturally. This is not because of luck or timing, it is because you are walking under an open heaven. The resistance hath been lifted because the appointed time has come. I have declared favor over your life, and my favor is unstoppable. The places that once said no will now say yes. The opportunities that once slipped away will now return and seek you out. The tables have turned, and everything that was against you is now working for you. Even now, heaven's light is shining upon your path. You will find yourself in the right place at the right time, saying the right words to the right people. You will think, how could this all align so perfectly? And I will whisper, because I arranged it. You will look back later and see that every delay, every detour, every moment of confusion was leading to this divine synchronization. Nothing has been wasted, and nothing has been random. You are walking in a story that has been orchestrated by the hand of heaven. So lift your head, my child. The clouds that once hid your view are parting. The light that is breaking through is not from the world, it is from my glory. You are standing under an open heaven, and I am pouring out favor that cannot be measured. The time of scarcity is over. The time of abundance has come. The prayers that once seemed unanswered are being fulfilled in ways that will leave you speechless. The visions you thought had died are breathing again. The opportunities you missed are returning in a greater form. Everything that once resisted you is yielding now, because I have declared that the time has come. Let this truth settle deep within you. What I am doing now will not fade. The doors I open cannot be closed by any hand of man. The favor I release cannot be reversed. The shift that has taken place cannot be undone. Walk in it with confidence, not pride. Walk in it with peace, not fear. Walk in it knowing that I have gone before you, and everything is aligning with my purpose. Heaven has opened, my child. Step forward, your time is now. My beloved child, now that the heavens have opened and the shift has begun, I want to speak to you about the reward that is now unfolding because of your faithfulness. For you have walked a long road, and though many could not see it, I have watched closely. I have seen the quiet faith that you held onto when the world gave you every reason to let go. I have seen the small acts of obedience, the gentle kindness when bitterness would have been easier, the prayers whispered when strength was gone. You thought no one noticed, but I did. Heaven did. The quiet faith that grew in your heart has moved mountains in the spirit realm. You must understand, my child, faithfulness is not proven in comfort but in trial. It is not displayed when everything goes well, but when everything seems to fall apart. And through every storm, through every night of uncertainty, you remain faithful. You did not always understand, but you kept trusting me. You did not always feel my presence, but you kept calling my name. You did not always see results, but you kept sowing seeds of faith. That, beloved, is what has touched my heart more deeply than you could ever imagine. The heavens take note of every person who stands firm when all evidence says to run, and you did that. There were moments when your soul cried out for relief and it seemed that none came, and still you chose me. When blessings seemed to fall on others while you waited in silence, you did not turn away in envy. You stayed in the secret place, believing that I was still working. When others doubted, you remained steadfast. When others walked away from their calling, you stood still and held the ground I gave you. You passed tests that would have broken many hearts. You endured refining fires that others could not withstand. You stayed when it would have been easier to quit, and now I am rewarding you openly for what you did quietly. Your faith did not need an audience to be real. You did not need applause to remain steady. You walked through hidden battles, ones that even those closest to you never knew about. You carried burdens with grace, you forgave when it hurt, and you refused to let darkness define you. You may not have felt strong, but I saw strength in you that mirrored my own. I saw perseverance born from love. I saw courage in your trembling. I saw devotion in your tears. And now I say to you, as your Father and your God, that every hidden moment of faithfulness is coming into light. What was once unseen will now be honored in the open. Do you remember the times you questioned whether it was worth it? The days when you looked at your life and thought, all this waiting, all this pain, all this obedience, has it mattered at all? I tell you now, it mattered more than you know. Every yes you whispered in obedience was building something eternal. Every choice to walk in forgiveness, to trust, to love, to stay pure of heart, was shaping the person you have become. You have been refined in the fire, purified like gold, and the reflection I now see in you shines with my image. You are not who you once were. You have grown in wisdom, compassion, and resilience. You have become a vessel fit for the blessings I am about to release. The waiting was not punishment, it was preparation. The delay was not a denial, it was a season of refining. You asked me to use you, and I answered by shaping you. You asked me to bless you, and I answered by preparing you to handle the blessing. For what good is an open door if the heart that walks through it is not ready? What good is abundance if character is not strong enough to carry it? I could not give you what I promised until the foundation within you was ready, but now it is. The years that felt wasted were not wasted at all, they were building something indestructible within you. You have learned endurance, and endurance has produced character. You have learned patience, and patience has produced faith. You have learned surrender, and surrender has produced peace. You have learned to trust me, not because you saw the outcome, but because you came to know my heart. And now that your faith has been refined, now that your heart has been purified, you are ready to receive what once seemed delayed. The doors that did not open before will now open easily, because you have been shaped to walk through them with humility and grace. Type I choose you first, Jesus, if you're done with anything less than His love, and share this video.